All right, here we go. It is Thursday morning, and I am catching up with Mick from Geyser. That's geyser.fund for anyone who hasn't been to the site. And this is our second video. We're going to keep it short because there's a lot of updates that have happened with Geyser since we originally launched our fundraising with Lightning Ventures, which is actually unique. Geyser is the first C. It's a different type of fundraising that you can do where you're allowed to raise publicly. So we can actually talk about it. We can actually solicit. Unlike every other Lightning Ventures deal that we do, we can talk about their deal publicly. There are some pros and there are some cons when you choose to do a 506c offering. All right. But that's what we have here with Geyser, right? We're crowdfunding an equity raise for the crowdfunders. It's a fractal. All right. So it's a Thursday morning. I'm here with Mick. We got a lot of updates. First off, Mick, how are you today? Where are you today?
I'm great. I am in England and the sun is shining, which is very rare, so I'm especially happy.
All right. The sun's shining in England. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so just a quick 30 seconds, okay, just to catch everyone up. The TLDR, if you don't know, what is Geyser?
Geyser is a crowdfunding platform built on Bitcoin, on Lightning, that works really, really seamlessly. You just, as a creator, you could be anywhere in the world, you plug in your Lightning wallet through a Lightning address, and boom, you create a project, and people can fund you from anywhere in the world. So it's a little bit like what you can imagine Kickstarter or Indiegogo, focus on non-equity sort of reward-based and donation-based crowdfunding. The key difference here is that people can fund you from anywhere in the world. And there's a lot of projects and a lot of initiatives focused on improving, enhancing the Bitcoin ecosystem. There are a lot of educators. There are a lot of creatives. There's really a lot of creative energy in here. A lot of video makers, filmmakers. So it's really a place for raising Bitcoin initiative towards Bitcoin initiatives, and not only that, really, whatever your passion is, you can put it up there, and Bitcoiners are usually quite happy to support smart and good initiatives, especially especially that go towards Bitcoin type of work. So yeah, that's Geyser in a nutshell. But there's also more like Geyser grants and more stuff that we can get into.
Okay, cool. So when we started, you were just fresh out of the Bitcoin Draper X, the first cohort of companies and young entrepreneurs that they put through their system there. You started fundraising and you have some funds closed, right? I think we could talk about those. Can we talk about some of the investors that you have and run through the advisors real quick?
Yeah, for sure. So we had, I think since then we've closed quite a few. We have three angel investors, two of which are, well, all three are Bitcoin only investors, angels. One of them is Brad Mills, who came in again for this round, for this pre-seed round with 90K. And you have Hivemind Ventures, who came also with 250K. And then two other angels, and yeah, and then obviously Lightning Ventures. There's quite a lot of in smaller scale investors that are invested through Lightning Ventures.
All right, cool. So that's great. You got Max Webster in there. You got Brad Mills in there.
You were right. You were right. You said, so remember last time we talked, this is Max Webster's face written all over it, and then we had a chat with him the next day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems like his cup of tea. And I love Max too. He's
Yeah.
got great energy.
Awesome.
Okay, so your current advisors, that's
Yeah.
the Geyser grants, right? Which we don't need to get into. We did a video previously about the grants, and maybe you've seen it
Yeah.
on Twitter. We don't need to get into all that. But the advisors, you got a lot of smart, really cool Bitcoiners helping you. Can you just give us a quick little ramble?
Yeah. So we've got quite a few. We've got Brad Mills, who's really helping us out a lot in the business strategy and sort of thinking big picture. We have Anton, who is kind of a business marketing kind of operation person who's been working in startup space for a while. And then we have we have some others, and then we have the board members and the grants, right? That includes again Brad Mills. We have Desiree Dickerson. We have Giacomo Zucco. We have all these Bitcoiners that are involved in the in helping us evaluate the grants and helping us find essentially the best way to distribute these funds in a way that they can have most impact. So we have this next Geyser grant. We have 1 Bitcoin to be distributing across these different categories, including Bitcoin communities and meetups, Bitcoin translations, right? We need a lot of work in translating Bitcoin content to the world. And then also Bitcoin visual media, visual arts, which again is key for spreading the Bitcoin signal in a way that is understandable, so that not everyone has to read the white paper, but they can, read view movies and documentaries and visual content that makes sense. So we've been open now for only 12 days, and we have more than 42 applicants. And these are all users that had to, that created a project on Geyser and linked their Geyser project on here, so that then the evaluator will go through all the applications, go to the Geyser project and see which projects will essentially receive the grant funding. The grant funding is sponsored by Bitcoin companies like Waldo Satoshi, and we may have another really big name coming up soon, and then also anonymous Bitcoin investors. So we have a few people that have chosen to remain anonymous, that have donated Bitcoin, that can go towards Bitcoin initiatives that support spreading Bitcoin signal and focus around education. And so if you compare Geyser grants compared to other grant programs outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem, like in Ethereum and another cryptocurrency, this is very, very little. But that's because Bitcoin is hard money and it's inherently valuable. And so, but this is really just the beginning. We're staying humble, but we know that this has massive potential to scale to become bigger and bigger every year. So we're throwing 2 to 4 grants every year, and really trying to get the Bitcoin community of creators kind of rolling around Geyser.
So it looks like you've got about 45 or so, if I saw that.
Yeah, that's right.
44 applicants so far in this round 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we're only less than halfway, so I'm sure we'll get to 100 this time. There's a lot of amazing creators that are waiting to to reap the benefits of their hard work.
All right. So while we're here, let's talk about one thing that's changed since we started. There is a ton of new projects on Geyser. There is an absolute ton. This number was much less. I mean, you can almost scroll forever. And a lot of these things, if you're a Bitcoiner, you're familiar. You're familiar with a lot of these things, whether it's the Orange Pill app or Santos, Emeraldize here. There's just a lot of, Vlad, BTC Takeover. There's just a lot of people who are now using Geyser that weren't before.
Right. So you're right, Mike. And the reason for that is we made it the easiest possible way for you to create a project on Geyser. We're just removing the friction of using a complex like Bitcoin wallet. We're enabling Lightning, which is enabling insane amount of microtransactions. And I believe Bitcoin Park is supported by Odell. I think Odell is supporting this one. So like, for example, take this one here, 142 individual contributors, 1.2 million sats. That's a few $100s, right? So it's quite a bit for a smaller like initiatives like this one that is mostly really run around the donations. And so actually what you're seeing here is that there are a lot of communities community type initiatives that are raising funds for this particular for these types of initiatives. And then Geyser really becomes an interface, a social interface where they can display their support, where they can, well, right now it's quite simple, but in the future, you can imagine there being even more kind of communication and feedback type functionalities. So yeah, if you look at the amount funded, you really get a leaderboard of the projects that have raised most funds, including a Bitcoin for Fairness, Fight for the US Dollar, Bitcoin Racing. Bitcoin Racing is doing an incredible job of supporting, essentially taking Bitcoin to millions of people through racing, right? So they have the Bitcoin logo on their car, and they have a lot of really cool perks that, and look at that, like a lot of people have backed them, have backed these perks. So
Now the perks is new. That was something back. I think we had talked about it, or it was coming. You guys have really shipped a lot from that roadmap. That
yeah,
first roadmap, as far as addresses, lightning address, and other things that weren't sort of relying on channel management and some of those things.
totally.
You guys have slugged through a ton of that over the
Yeah.
past few months, and we're going to touch on the December update in a minute. But this is really cool. This is more of the normie type of feel, right? When you go to a lot of these fiat platforms, if you're going to donate X, and you can get the T-shirts and whatever, I mean,
right.
watch the live races with the team. Really
Yeah, this
cool.
is a place where Geyser almost kind of crosses into the marketplace type of environment, right? Where you can really like have your own store type of thing, and it's a social type of environment. So this is another thing that we shipped, which is Geyser entries. So this is the ability to have an article. You can write an article, like a blog, on your within your crowdfunding campaign, and I think that's actually something that hasn't been explored even in traditional crowdfunding platform like Kickstarter or Indiegogo. You can't really do that, and so with this feature, we really hope to allow creators to tell their stories with a little bit more depth, ability to add videos, add images, and it's really just telling their story, updating their community, and in doing so, really telling their story in a lot more depth, which I think it's been a successful feature with a lot of people using it.
I think it's really cool, and this actually works, embedding this video, which is more than I can say for a lot of other platforms that don't have the ability to embed a video. So congrats on actually getting that to work. I love the entries. So when somebody does an entry, is everyone who contributed, is there a way that they can sort of be alerted? Is there a communication that can happen there? Is that optional? Is it opt-in? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So not yet, but that's very much front of mind for us. So we have one key feature that is going to roll out probably this quarter. I'm quite confident about this quarter, and it's the ability to follow a project, right? So if you've contributed a project, you're basically automatically following it, or you can manually follow it, and then in that way it gives you essentially in this feed, right? This is the global feed of everything that is happening on Geyser. Well, you can scroll between the global feed and the your feed, which shows all the activity from the project that you follow. So you'll be able to see not just the contributions that are happening for the projects you follow, but the new entries, and hopefully soon as well, the ability to actually read and view posts. So posts are a bit like small version of entries, or like Twitter tweets. Well, what we discovered with entries is that they're a really good feature, but they still are they have a lot of friction because you still have to go there, sit down, and write an actual post. And nobody these days has much of a patience to be writing a long form article. And so we want to make it easy for people to write small, short and sweet updates in the form of posts. So that's something else that we're working on. It really starts to become more like a social crowdfunding type of initiative. Really, it's like crowdfunding and social coming together. So that's something that we're really much thinking about. So yeah, essentially, to answer your question, You can follow a project, and you can follow a project with an email instead as well, so that when you if you want to receive a notification by email, you can do so by email, or you can receive it directly on the Geyser interface. And because we discovered it's like a 50-50 thing. Some people love to receive things notification by emails. Others just cannot, like, just never look at their email, or they don't enjoy the spam, and so that they don't. So we want to give users that optionality.
Okay, I love following projects. I can't wait to do that. I'm going to log in here in a minute, but I just want to show everyone people are actually using Geyser. An hour ago, 2,500 sats. Here's 10 sats, which is what's beautiful about Lightning is that's a essentially free donation. 10,900 2 hours ago, 13,000 2 hours ago, 5,000, 24,000 2 hours ago, 230,000. This is real activity. Okay. I'm not saying that they're breaking the bank here with this 10 sat donation, but, we were just talking before we started, and, ideally you could have 1 million projects on Geyser and everyone sort of funneling their platform there, as well as all these other tools that they're rolling out. So people are definitely using it, and they've come a long way. And we're going to go ahead.
Right, and to answer to that's to really kind of double click on that question there. The point of that landing page is precisely what you've just said there. Like, and it was really to prove that there is activity, not just on Geyser, but on Bitcoin, right? To show that the sats are flowing, to show that activity is happening, to show that the system and the ecosystem is alive, and showing the most exciting kind of activity that exists on the platform. The most like active projects that are receiving contributions. And that landing page will become, again, this global feed with not just contributions, but actual posts and entries and projects that are being created. So you can kind of go there and see what's up, what's new on Geyser. And every time you go on Geyser, it's a new thing. It's a new contributions or new activity.
Okay, so let's talk about the last few months, and let's go over this year in review. Let's start with the year in review real quick, just for funsies. Geyser did a public year in review here, and look, even Geyser's raised a little bit. That's nice.
Yeah, we have our own project on Geyser, and the community has been insane. Like and actually we've tied in our podcasting 2.0. So actually all those
I was
apps.
curious about that. How does that work with the fountain?
Right. So we're integrated into podcasting 2.0. So you can connect your pub key and hopefully soon your Lightning address and your fountain, and split the funds that you're receiving across different addresses. So right now, 90% of we have our own Geyser podcast that we have once a week. We feature a creator, and we take 50% of the sats into our project, and 50% of the sats are funneled to the other projects, to the projects we split 50-50 crowdfunding campaign funds received, podcasting contributions coming to Geyser and the project. So yeah, it's kind of, again, the power of Lightning interoperability, the fact that we can do that really, really easily. So basically the last year in review has been incredible. Like we launched Geyser around a year ago with just one simple project. But the entire app itself as a whole actually only opened in end of October. So considering all that activity, there's actually a lot of activity compared to the amount of time that actually passed. So there's been a lot of contributors. We wanted to recognize the contributors, right? You have Blockchain Boog donating 44 times. I donated to a few projects as well. I couldn't hold myself. You had Stackmore, Hunting Finance. You see that there is this community of supporters that love to support Bitcoin initiatives. And also there's a leaderboard in terms of amount of sats funded. As you can see, interestingly, there's a lot of Bitcoin companies, right? So Bitcoin companies are supporting Bitcoin initiatives, which is incredible to see. And yeah, we had quite a few milestones here. We launched our first pilot project in Lagos in January. I was still working in my other job. I was still unsure, is this going to work? And then we received $2,000 and 110 contributors in just a few weeks, which is like, okay, this is something. Crowdfunding on Lightning is going to be a really, really big market. And I think it's because Bitcoiners love to support Bitcoin initiatives. They love to spread the message. And because Bitcoin is on one hand hodling, but on the other hand, spreading the sats and letting them flow, right, as we say. So yeah, that was sort of really powerful. And then we launched the round one of Geyser grants in July. 45 grantees received money, integrated with Podcasting 2.0. We launched entries to help creators tell their stories. In October, we opened up the platform to node runners. And only in December, we enabled Lightning addresses. So a creator can create a Lightning address, a project with a Lightning address. And in just a month, we received 75 new projects. So yeah, you can see there like pretty steep growth considering, like the big changes happening October, November, December. So yeah, we're really, really quite humbled at how the community has received us. We are very, excited about where we are, but we also have a lot of cool plans for next year as well.
All right, this is super impressive. That is awesome to see. This is really cool. I love the companies that are also on there contributing. So 320 million sats for the year. That's not a bad first year.
Right, and just for the crowdfunding, if you include the grants, it's more than six Bitcoin.
So is it all right if we share this?
Yeah, this works.
Okay.
That's fine.
So a little bit more depth, what you would expect. I have to give you guys one really good compliment, and that is you guys write very, very thorough, good updates. Okay. They're frequent, they're complete, and then at the same time, you have a Notion link that's out there that can be distributed. So if you're in the Lightning Ventures fold over the past few months, every time that they have one of these awesome updates, you've been getting them through our network. So this one here, what we're taking a look at is December, which to me was by far the best one, the best update. And, I don't know if this whole format was from Draper. A lot of times coming through YC, they really focus on training you to how to write updates. But every founder or builder that's out there, this is such a good habit to get into. And Geyser is into it early. And it's just so important. You don't have to go deep. High level, what's good, what's bad, what do we need? There is one typo here. That should say December, but that's okay. We're gonna forgive him on that. Okay, so this is a plus 65% month over month. That is beautiful. Okay, that is what you want to see. 102 new projects launched in a month. This is gonna be nuts. Okay, this puppy, when this continues, is going to be nuts. And I kind of thought, Mick was joking when he said there may be a million projects on Geyser. And by the way, if you're getting a small little slice of a million projects, that's a very scalable flywheel of a business that's just going to bring more people to Geyser. Okay, 100%, I would expect nothing less. Plus 73% on the amount of contributors. See, this is what's cool about the way that Mick is looking at his business that I think every founder should out there. They're following lots of different KPIs. There's lots of different things that they can look at. How many individual people, okay, have donated within that 1 month period? How many of them are new, right? It's not just necessarily about the amounts, right? It's about all sorts of different things that you can track for your business. Okay. And he's keeping a really good eye on it. I love it. Okay. Monthly visitors. That's very impressive too. Okay, so then we've got a little bit of a product update. As he just said, the Lightning address here. They had their 2022 year in review. That was a tweet thread, but we pulled up the full version there that's online. Resolving some bugs, started round two. Discoverability, really great. Okay, they talk a little bit about their burn. Which is actually very low and modest, to be honest with you. There's a lot of companies out there that burn a lot more. They have a nice long runway. Okay, there's no cash crunch here. Okay, they can take their time scaling up and iterating. And they have some room left in their round. Okay, always important. Events and happenings, what's been going on, podcasts, probably where they're going to be, all that good stuff. That is a beautiful investor update. Congratulations on doing that the right way.
Yeah, thank you. And look, it's useful for us as well because it's a great way for us to like, okay, let's take a look at this month. How did it go? You know, where are the things that need to be improved, and what are we focusing on next month? It keeps us on our toes, and it allows us to like to not have any awkwardness between us and investors. You know, like I want to make sure that investors know what we're doing, what we're up to, and that there's really good communication.
It's also very therapeutic
Yeah.
to sit down at the end of the month and kind of just even a free flowing consciousness of where we at and what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's pretty much all the updates. We're going to refresh our memo and we're going to get a lot of this stuff in there. We're still have this deal and this opportunity open. I'm definitely going to make a donation now before this is all over. But do you have anything that you kind of want to touch on as far as the future or anything that you're excited about? Because I think this was a pretty good update on where things are right now.
Yeah, I think it was great. I think the only just high level kind of thought there is I think the donation economy is gonna be way bigger on Bitcoin is gonna be a lot bigger than people can imagine because at the moment to make Bitcoin work, uh, you need to spread the sats. Like there's no way. And as Bitcoin appreciates in value, right? People are better off, and when people are better off, what happens? Well, people donate money. People give money to great ideas, and crowdfunding, like donation-based and reward-based crowdfunding, is really the foundational layer of finance. It's like the very basic, as we call it, like a financial primitive that will work, and on top of which we can build smarter and more complex and cool financial tooling like equity as well. But this is something that just has to happen on Bitcoin, will happen on Bitcoin, has low risk because there is like, it's just you're donating money to creators and to initiatives. And so yeah, it's something that I'm really excited about. I think it's going to grow a lot more than people recognize and imagine. And yeah, our point is to make this the best possible platform where people can raise money because of the tools that we give them, right? We make it fun, we make it social, and we plan to make it a lot more social than it is now, and allow people creators around the world borderlessly to fundraise towards their projects. And keep in mind, there's a lot of, especially with these other protocols emerging like Nostr, there's a lot of platforms out there that are going to be creating new type of social experiences. But Geyser is going to be the one that will try to really focus in on projects, on initiatives. Like, I have an idea, I want to make it happen. Well, Geyser will be there for you to help make that idea into reality. We're not, Geyser is not for everyone. It's for people that want to get something done. And to get something done, you need tools, you need instruments, and hopefully we'll be there to provide them.
All right, I'm losing my patience. I'm dying to donate. Let's see if we can't fire a few off here. Okay, what do we have here?
So yeah, essentially last time we have a bit of trouble because nodes were not very good at nodes were not reliable. Now that we've integrated Lightning addresses, we have had 99% uptime. It's been incredibly good. Like, it's been super easy to fund the project.
Okay, so let's do 4,200 sats to my man.
Yeah.
Santos, you the man. Keep it up. All right, let's see. Fund now. Let's see if this how this works here. We are
So
right
yeah,
all the wrongs of last time.
yeah. So the way that this works is that you're just generating an invoice. It takes a little bit longer than it did last time, just because, well, it's taking a little bit longer than it usually does. But because we're generating an invoice inside another invoice, do you have, yeah, you have Albi.
Yeah, I was gonna try and actually use Albi. I don't know if that's what is going on with this. I didn't log in with it though.
That's,
Oh,
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 there
oh,
you
look
go.
at that. Oh, it
Yeah.
just works like that.
Yeah. So it just pops up.
Oh, cool. So it didn't, if I wanted to fund from my phone or another, it would show me an invoice, or it's because it's already
Because you
connected.
have Albi activated, it just shows you the Albi interface. If you want to pay with your phone, you just press cancel and it'll show up the QR code. Um, I think it is a little slower than usual, but sometimes the network connectivity could be that.
Is it finding a route?
Right.
All right. Let's see. The suspense is killing me.
Oh my
And
God.
probably Santos is like, man, I really
I
want those
I think
4,200 sets.
I think it's all this energy, man. There you
All
go. Come on.
right. Bada boom. Look at that. I love the little confetti. Oh, that is super cool. Check out your Twitter. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
so we have this Twitter bot, right, that sends out messages, and since you're logged in, you'll be the Twitter bot, the Geyser Twitter bot will have tagged you, and tagged you and Santos, the creator of the project.
okay. Well, we can't stop there. Let's do a few more. That was pretty addicting. Okay,
Okay.
let's hook up my man. My man, we just had a chat the other day talking about Bob Dylan.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, right.
he knows his stuff too.
Vlad, yeah, Vlad knows his stuff.
Wait. We got to give him. We got to give him blood on the Sats. Okay, he'll get that because that's a Bob Dylan album. Blood on the Tracks. You see what I
Right.
did there? Blood on the
Nice.
Sats. Okay, so let's try this again. So this time I want to do it from the phone. Can I do it from the phone?
Yeah, so you can do it definitely. So just whenever, yeah, so in this
All right.
case, press cancel and it'll
Let's
pop up the QR code.
see that. This is what you call time. Real time. We're going for it here. Okay, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. And are we successful? Are we successful? I think it's going to work, Mick. I think you built something that works here. Just going to give it a second.
I wonder the internet connectivity, usually it's instant.
And let me say one more thing. A lot of times, not everything is investable as a business, and Geyser checks a very important box with what they're building here. Payment failed. All right. Should I try again?
Okay.
I
So
got a route issue. It's a route issue.
yeah, I mean, it may be due to the wallet that Vlad is using. Let me see here.
There was a problem routing this payment. Oh darn. Oh no, but then it says successful. That's so weird. Wait.
So I did go through then.
Okay, because I tried it again. All right, cool.
There you
So
go.
that's two. And let me just do one more for fun. And let's see. Let's see. They're like, you're way too cheap. Like, come on. Okay. Um,
I can do it as well. If you pull up the QR, I can pay from here as well.
no,
But
no, no. Mateo. Let's give Mateo some money.
oh,
That guy.
that's not Matteo. Watch out, watch out, watch out. That's not
Oh,
Matteo.
it's
That's
not.
another project similar. It's another really cool project, but it's not the same one.
Okay,
I think
interesting.
so.
Do you
Actually,
set these
Matteo,
milestones? Are these milestones automatically created?
no, they create the creators get to add milestones, add rewards, and that's sort of to show the community what they're planning to do with the funds, right?
Really cool. Um,
So now I think Mateo's at the very, very bottom, I'm
But
afraid.
he is on
Um,
here.
he is on here, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on here, man.
Yeah, I think we have more than 200 projects now.
You could spend a
Uh,
whole darn day on
oh
here
yeah, but
just
that's sort
going
of
through
the
this
beauty,
stuff.
right? You get to see everything that is happening in the Bitcoin space, and like 95% of projects are Bitcoin related, but a lot of projects are starting to be not Bitcoin related, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. There's just so much.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in Bitcoin, thankfully, right?
Yeah. So this is him. No. Wow,
No, this
there's a lot of orange pilling going on.
there is. Look, yeah, I think yeah, I can send you the link actually here. I can probably
No, I just wanted to see this though. Look, there I am.
yeah, that's right. There you go.
This is awesome.
You're the top of
Oh, Paco, let's hit.
the
Oh man, the crypto couple's on here too. I didn't know that.
he's got an unstable wallet though, I think. But you
What?
can give it a try. Yeah, so if you wanna connect your node, you still have to manage your liquidity. And so but I think in this case it should still work. I believe he's fixed it. We are yeah. uh yeah, Paco is
He's a good dude.
he's
He's
such a good dude,
definitely a
yeah.
good dude. Okay, cool. So let's see the test for Paco. So the crypto couple's on here. That's really cool. You know, they're
Yeah,
good
yeah.
friends of mine, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
nice to be able to support all those cool videos and things that they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, crypto couple honestly top of the list when it comes to content creation for Bitcoin.
So when people choose to connect directly with their own node, this is the trade-off. This is the deal
Right.
here.
Yeah, it's a little slower, and finding the route is a little bit more challenging. But yeah, I believe so. Paco has a node, um, but it's using essentially, yeah. So it's taking a little bit longer, and if there's no liquidity, it may not go through. So I can't promise it will go through in this time.
Yeah, yeah. But it's definitely cool though, and it's all the more reason I think to just use the Lightning address. But
Yeah.
I know that you have a special deal for those node runners.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's the challenge, right? If you run your node, you have to take care of the liquidity, and it's yeah, it's still trying to find a route, and it's a little bit slow.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna reach out to Paco and let him know this is the second time I tried to donate some sats and it just didn't work.
Yeah,
But
we need
that's all
to
right.
we need to get him on board into a Lightning address.
All right, cool,
All
man.
right.
So I think that covers it. I hope I didn't bore everyone with that, but that is the real-time fun that you can have with Geyser. And it's good catching up with you, Mick. And for anyone who wants to invest in Geyser, not only support them, but actually invest in Geyser, you can reach out to us and we will get you started. All right. Well, thanks for hanging, Mick, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Mike. Always good to be with you.
Bye, buddy.